Right. I don't know. Hang on. Did I hit the right button? I don't know if I hit the right button. I never know if I've hit the right button. This is a whole... Okay, so this is a whole different button I'm having to hit. This time, I'm having to hit like a different button when I normally hit the button. Oh, I've got stuff to use. I should use that. Maybe use that in the intro. Welcome in, guys. Should I roll the intro? I'll roll the intro. Good luck. Welcome to Sandflies. I think anybody knows I'm not live right now. They don't, do they? They do know this was like pre-recorded like a week ago. We're talking about 3v3, so it's kind of more relevant now than it was like a week ago. And that actually Aldy's on holiday right now. I'll be in chat right now. Aldy, are you in chat? Are you in chat? Are you there? You must be a computer. You just started us. Like idiots. Look at this intro. Look at that. Glorious. Wow. Right, I'm gonna put. There's more appearing in this intro. Still like the initial render. Anyway, how the hell is everyone? Welcome on in. We're going to get the intro in just 1 second, and then you guys, yeah, let's rock it. Hey, Aldy, you shot. Just different, eh? I don't know. Work it out. We'll work it out. We'll explain in a minute. Anyway, I need to get ready to hit another button. So you guys enjoy the flyby of the video of the stadium. Glorious, glorious. I've hit A button. I've hit A button. That might not be the right button. Okay, no, I've hit A button. I've hit A button. I've appeared on the television. Mum, I'm on the TV. Mum, on the TV. Right, where the fuck's the intro now? Honestly, this is just... Do you know, I thought when he did this live, it was terrible. The fact that this is all recorded. Right, I found it. Oh, here you are, face to face in this tragic bar. Another crescent, I am going places, makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking, I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't care at all the mochas who... just words. I don't even... Okay, I still don't know the words to this damn fucking song. I get half of them wrong. Okay, I need to get this on Spotify and then look the words up. Okay, somebody look the words up. Okay. Holiday, it would be so nice if Aldy took a holiday. Took some time to celebrate. Okay, we'll go. Oh, we might get voided for that. Sorry. Sorry. Hi, Madonna. Please do not take down this epic video. Aldy's on holiday. And because Aldy's on holiday, and I love you so much, you get Aldy from the past. Aldy's still here. He's in chat. He's over here. Like over here. Can't reach. Yes. Anyway, he's on holiday, currently chilling out. He'll have put photographs in Discord. He bound to. That's how much he loves you all. He will have put things in Discord. He will have kept, putting photographs here. He'll have told you where he is with Conquest, which we're now. Oof. Go, we're 11 odd days into Conquest. How's everybody's Conquest going? I mean, please tell me. And I will react to your message. Wow, you're that far through Conquest? Oh, well, generic person name here. Well done. I think it's been delete is appropriate, harder or easier than I expected. And I've been surprised how easy the Inquisitors' battles have been. I've been surprised how hard the Inquisitor battles have been. Oof. And Darth Malgus, that battle, so much fun. Even to see Darth Malgus in the wild is... Okay, so you guys are not fooled by this sham. The sham of a human being up here who's trying to pretend he has a fucking clue what's going on in Conquest, even though in his world, Conquest has not started. Conquest has started now in the real time. So the Aldy in chat will probably be calling this Aldy a fucking idiot right now. Because, let's face it, he is. Chin chin, everyone. Happy holidays. So just to break the fourth wall, which we still don't really know what that means. I recorded this before I went on holiday. I am now playing this as a rerun, but I have never played it before. So this is the first time ever watching this presentation. This is a brand new presentation where I'm going to talk about 3v3. Okay, so 3v3 compositions. I'm going to talk about the compositions I'm going to use coming up on Thursday, I think. I'm going to talk about the different comps I'm going to do with the different omicrons I've got, what omicrons I might put on next. I'm going to talk about how 3v3 tactics change. I'm going to talk about the Inquisitor faction. I'm going to talk about the importance of Conquest and whether Darth Malgus will change things. I'll talk a little bit about my future thoughts for... Not for Conquest, for 3v3. I'm doing 3v3, you fucking idiot. We're talking about 3v3 and we're going to talk about compositions. Then we're going to look at the top performing defensive teams. We're going to talk about the top performing... Well, I don't think we'll talk about offensive teams. I think we'll talk more about defense because defense wins championships, doesn't it? It doesn't. Offense, just offense for show, defense for dough, or some made-up sporting thing. But you know, in the last video, I just talked about man-meat smashing into each other at this point. So at least we're using golfing metaphors and football terms. Anyway, doesn't matter. Defense. We're going to talk about 3v3 defense. So I'm going to throw out all the different ideas. We're going to look at the 3v3 defenses that I put last time. Which ones I like, which ones I don't. We're going to look at... We're going to look at the best performing defensive teams in the world, looking at SWGOH. We're going to look through every one of those. I'm going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about the ones at the top. And then we're going to have a bit of a chat for people at the 4 million, 5 million, what they might put, what works for them, why some of those mechanics work. So look, if you're 4 or 5 million, or if you're 2 and 3 million, or if you're 1 million, and you've only just unlocked a weird character, we're going to run through where best to use those weird characters. We're going to show you some weird comps, and I'm going to try and do my best, even though I don't fully understand any kit. I'm going to try and kind of explain why the team's kind of working, why it's tricky. I'm going to have a bit of fun just chatting about 3v3. So if anyone's still there over here in chat, I am here in chat, so I will, if that makes sense, I will talk to you. Just not this idiot will talk to you. This idiot will talk, and we can talk over here. I don't know. You know what I mean. Work it out. So, we want to hear from everybody's 3v3 comps, 3v3 teams, things they're excited about with 3v3. But firstly, I'm going to talk mostly about 3v3 as a game mode. We're going to talk a little bit about how it might affect the leaderships, the tables, the overall strategy of 3v3. Basically, think of this as being a 1-hour presentation that other people would do in 15 minutes on their YouTube channel and then just upload it for you to write down. This is kind of my equivalent of me just rapping for an hour to you, like you're at a normal stream at your normal Aldy time. Welcome to normal Aldy time, and just chat to each other like you always fucking do. Sorry, just enjoying a beer. Right, I'm doing 4 of these today. I have previously just recorded the one you would have watched last week, where we talked about 5v5 and farming. That's probably still on the channel down below, so if you want to kind of see what my general thoughts on farming and the future of the game are. That was last week. This week we're talking about 3v3, and we're talking about what I think of 3v3 and 3v3 importance, different strategies of change, and all that jazz. So, without further ado, we'll move across. Look at me to the gaming screen. Look at that professional transition. What a streamer. What a human being. So, the other thing we will also do is during this, because there will not be many people watching this, you'll all be over there in chat, so please keep other company. Little old Aldy's doing this because he loves you, and I want to kind of, I want to kind of reach out to you. I want to kind of spend a bit of time. I also want to see how this performs. So if in the future I'm away, or I'm doing something else, or I'm on holiday, or I'm doing a work thing, or I'm traveling or something, I just want to hear from you. Like, is this the kind of thing that you might want? You know, if I do this and I'm doing this, or are you all just sitting there going, that arse isn't live? The only thing I like about Twitch is being able to talk to the man on the screen, and then the man on the screen talks back to you. Well, no need to be so fucking rude. I'm doing my best. This is all we have. I do know that you want to talk to me, but anyway, sorry. But look, the weird thing is, so chat just chats itself. So basically, you can have a little watch party on my Discord. You can jump over into the Discord right now, and yeah, and have a wee watch party, or you can sit there in the chat and just chat away. So I'm going to talk, but just think of this as like a 1 hour bit of a podcast, bit of a chat, and a thank you that you still get a little bit of Aldy in your life, even when there isn't a little bit of Aldy in your life, but there was just a little bit of Aldy in your life, because Aldy's probably on Discord. He's probably posting what he's doing every day, and you're seeing photographs. But anyway, you don't care about that. What you care about is Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the mobile collector game, who, for people that love Star Wars. 3v3. We talked a little bit about 5v5 and my thoughts on 5v5 in the last video. 3v3 for me is a nice change. Many people don't like 3v3. And it's because we have a button on the screen here, right? They call it a guild event, right? If you click on this, it takes you to this screen here, and you have what is called a territory war, right over here, a territory war, and you have active members. So a lot of you won't have done this, but okay, so if you click on this button here, it opens another sub-menu. They fucking love the sub-menus. Oh, throwing out love to E-Rock, Commander B, Darth Wingnut. Look at these legends already joined. So this is a game mode that's in the game. I don't tend to ever join this game mode because reasons. And this game mode here this is the best of the best. These are people. This is your moment where man meat slapping against other. Territory Wars is when man meat is just the behemoths of the game of their 5v5, and it's bang and bang and bang, and it's modding and it's talking. And therefore, when 5v5 GAC is on, it's the same game mode. It just is in a different format, different package. So very often, everyone will have their entire roster modded for 5v5. They can't be bothered changing for 3v3, because if they change for 3v3, they need to change it back for Territory War, and they need to yeah, so generally, the people at the very, very top of the game who are very invested in TW do not like 3v3, because they prefer 5v5, because that's their jam, that's what they like, that's what they're discussing in their Discordians over and over again about compositions and stuff. So round comes 3v3. Then you take the sort of the lowly serfs like me, the people who just love Star Wars and love playing the game and we love 3v3 because it's a change, it's something interesting and new, and it's another game mode to do, and you know, it's not a case of just God, okay, grind this character, use this character, and this team, you know, decided by someone else tells you to put it in with Starkiller, and it must be with Starkiller. Have you got the Omicron yet? You know, no. 3v3 is time for you to stretch your legs, have a bit of fun. There's also an incredible bit of theory crafting that goes on in 3v3. We'll talk a little bit about why, I guess, now, shall we? So 3v3, let's talk about differences. So 3v3, well, there's only 3 people, not 5. And that really changes the teams a lot. It changes the importance of teams, changes the composition of teams hugely. And does that because of, I guess, a normal composition. If you think of a normal 5v5 team, you have a leader, you tend to have a tank, you have a damage dealer, you have a support, and you maybe have a second tank or a second damage dealer or a second support, but that's kind of your composition. When you move to 3v3, you're losing one of those or 2 of those. So you end up with a leader, and then you need to pick a tank normally, and then you kind of need a damage dealer, or sometimes you'll put a support in because your leader, you know, so the compositions are tighter, they're smaller. You don't, and many characters, we'll talk about Starkiller maybe near the end of the video, but a lot of characters need those 5 roles to be efficient, to work well. They need the 5. Whereas when you get to 3s, they're kind of missing 2 of them, so a lot of the compositions kind of fall down. So you get teams that are very good in 5s suddenly drop. Other teams, well, are okay. Other teams are very good. The GLs also kind of shift around in how important they are. Again, we'll talk about that. But 3v3 in a nutshell is basically you have 15 teams of 3 people on defense, so you have 45 characters on defense, as opposed to, and I'm talking about Kyber 1 here, so please, please don't shout. Shouting going on. In Kyber 1, you have 45 on defense versus 55. Generally, as you go down the things, that's the same kind of pattern, where people have less characters on defense. So you're kind of increasing the usable people by maybe 20% additional characters for offense. And that does kind of change the game mode quite a lot, because it means that people have more to zerg down. They have more weird mechanics to use. They have more... Yeah, they just have more. They have more for offense, and the defenses are a lot more fragile. There's very few teams in 3v3 that can absolutely stonewall you. We'll see a few, but those tend to be the GLs, and those will stonewall anyway. But it is a lot harder. The other thing to note about 3s is that you get less for soloing versus full clearing with 3 people than you do in 5s. Hang on, no, I didn't explain that right. If in 5s I go in with a team of 5 people and I full clear without losing someone, there's a less of a difference between going with 1, because essentially I'm missing 4 characters instead of missing 2 characters. So the banner difference is much smaller. So it means that 3v3s is more, there's more drop battles, there's more full clears, and more messy full clears. So that's kind of what 3v3s is. All of that means that characters is slightly less important. I've said this a few times. If I'm boring you and if I've seen this a million times, I apologize. But ship importance used to be about here. When they brought in the 3rd fleet with 5s, it went about here. Now on 3s, it's now about here. So ships are now more important than they ever have been. Because they're going to decide more of these grand arenas, and many people hate that. Many people are like, no, ships should be removed from the game. It is a terrible game mode, and I do not engage with ships, therefore I am not very good at ships. I happen to love ships. I am the king of shipping, that much is canon. But look, you have to engage with ships. And maybe at some point we'll do a bit of a chat about me shipping strategies, how they go, but at the moment we're just going to say just on 3s, shippings will be more important. They will decide more and more of the GACs. So if you have been struggling, or if recently since you moved to 3, you probably want to look at your ship farming. You probably want to look at what pilots you have, what characters you have. You probably want to look at what relics you have or what mods you have on your capital ship pilots. We're not going to talk too much about ships, but I guess my main point on 3s is that ships are even more important. The other one is GLs. GLs also become a little bit better. A lot of the off-meta counters, we talked last week about how the game is essentially non-GL versus GL now, and that at the very, very top of the game, the legend that is Sir Loki. That's his entire bread and butter is how do you kill a GL without a GL. When it gets to 3v3, that is still hyper important, but the options are so much smaller. You know, there's some of the teams, some of the counters will work only because they have 5 people. I guess Starkiller is probably an example of that. Really kind of limits the number of non-GL versus GL. So I think on 3v3, and maybe this brings me to my first point about GL strategies. Essentially, you need more GLs than your opponent. You need more GLs for offense than your opponent has on defense, or you need the same number of GLs on offense as your opponent has put on defense to kind of get through it and get a win within reason. But I would suggest to people, given everything I'm saying, if you are worried about threes, or you're not interested in threes, or you're concerned about threes, just keep a little bit more for offense, specifically on GLs or on the higher counter. If we talk into the 2, 3, 4 million GP area, just a few less. I think at the start I will go a little bit more offensive, and I will ensure I get the full clear of the characters, and then the ships will be the same. It's still the same 5 ships, it's still that. So yeah, so the shippings is the same as you've been doing. So my shippings has been good recently. I've always full cleared the opponent's ships when I've got to them, and I have Negotiator on defense. I will be slowly get the printer up and running. By the time this video goes live, I'll probably have at least a 5 or 6 star that TXT 100 Epsom color jet inkjet. Same with the echelon, will also be higher. So people will start to unlock those. Just be careful if you're looking at people against the Radis. That ship will start getting better and better, and you'll start to see it move into the starting lineup, and you'll see it being more and more tanky. So be careful about looking at history versus that particular ship, because those ships they're moving, getting a lot better. Yeah, so ships are going to be important. But I do think it's a general strategy. I'm going to keep a little bit more for offense at the start, whilst things shake down a little bit. I think that on threes, the only way you kind of lose threes is if you go too defensive, and your opponent still is able to get through whatever you've put on defense. I think there's a chance that too defensive is probably a poor strategy at this point. Unless you are terrible at ships and you have no ships, in which case you need to block ships. So if you are terrible at ships and you never want to do another ship battle, you put 4 GLs at the top or 5 GLs at the top. You make sure your opponent doesn't get anywhere near ships, because you are losing a huge amount of battles because of that. So you block ships, and that almost goes for 5v5 as well, but I would say that here. But if you're following Aldy's shipping guides, and if you are a regular to Island, you'll have people assisting for you, and RNG will be with you. So please continue to make ships important by not blocking ships, and try and block the character by its own. But that's just kind of, everyone needs to make a personal opinion on where they are in ships and their confidence with ships. The more confident you are, the more you can put on defense. At the moment, I'm Empire, Negotiator, and Radis on defense. That may change. Some point. But anyway, that's a general kind of shipping, kind of general strategy, where to put your characters. Anyway, should we look at some teams? Should we do like some spicy takes on teams? What's the best way to do this first? Should we start with the SWGOH sort of stuff, or should we start with what I had last time? I say, well, we'll do SWGOH-ness, and we'll look at those first. Look at this terrible presentation skills. Anyway, right, so let me explain what you're looking at. Shall I go up? No, I'm fine down here. So I hope this is okay for everybody. So basically, if you've got your notepad out, now's to get your little notepad out there, start writing things down. Did say so in the other video. I was thanking people a lot. Maybe I should thank you everyone that comes to my little presentation. Thank you for the people that come to everything. People like Millis, DJ, Sage the Pilot. Much love. The people who come that don't even play Star Wars Gods and Heroes. People like Lynn, Carney drops in, say hi. It can barely be said that Borky actually, no, I'm joking Borky. We love you in the B Squared movement. We have a lot of people that come just to the London Gamer comes and hangs out and chats. Incredible streamers fighting drunk as well. These people, part of the island, part who come to these Star Wars streams, who don't even play Star Wars. Like, they're literally just going, I don't know, I have no idea what this idiot's talking about. So I send love to them. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love. You are an incredibly valued group of island viewers, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. And I'll give another thank you out to the people that really, the theory crafters, the ones Van Seal, Thisk, Mary J, Halo, Opinionator, Wolverine, Tanu, people like DJ again and Millis, who really understand the game very, very well. Hi, I'm over here. Thank you for everyone that comes and gives their opinion, gives a strat, gives advice about what they would do, and gives a comp and what they would do. And please now just start shouting your comp out. You know, what comps are you looking forward to in 3v3? Streamer asks generic questions to chat. No, nothing. Really? You can't even type in one team you're looking forward to? You want the streamer to get to the fucking thing. Or hang on, have we not sat through the endless YouTube videos of everyone going, this is my thoughts on TV3. Hang on, this is my thoughts on TV3. Hang on, I am that video. This is the video to have. Hang on, I am actually on the video. Okay, maybe the reason why maybe you don't have a TV3 com yet is because you haven't seen my video yet, which you're currently watching. Hang on, let's do this. Okay, right. Let's have a look. Right, so firstly, let me explain top performing GAC squads. Okay, you click here, then you need to type season 22 up here. Season 22 is when we had these. And then be careful, and then we obviously go defense. We're not going to talk about offensive teams here. We know the offensive teams. We'll see them a little bit when we look at the 3v3s I have in game. But these are the defensive teams. Now, be careful on cutoff, right? So how cutoff works? Cutoff is the number of times it was seen, right? So if I do all, right? Oh, God. No, hang on, that's bollocks. If I do 1%, right, this kind of represents the defensive teams that we're seeing the most often, and therefore it kind of represents a lot more GP. So we're going to have a look at this list later on, but we're going to have this list. This list is kind of the ones to talk about if you're in that 4 to 5 million. But just keep it simple. We'll talk about the top level first. What is this song? Talk, real talk. No. Okay, this is good. I like this. Can we not get Vibe? What's the Vibe song? We used to have a great song that was the Vibe. Where's the Vibe song? Here it is. This one. Is it? No, I've just finished this. No, not this one. What was the Vibe song? Ah, that one. This is it. This is a bop. This is a bop for 3v3. Let it breathe. Let it go. Right, anyway. So, by setting this to 0.1, you get like you get, essentially this is like setting it to 7 million. They should change this button so it says like 7 million and plus. And then change 1 to like 5 million, you know what I mean? Like, but that's fairly mean. Okay, so I know it has a different meaning to that, but we're looking at the best defensive teams in the game. These are the ones that essentially were put down by the fewest people who, well, no, hang on. Oh, fuck it. It's complicated. Right, these are the best fucking defensive teams, right? These are the ones that were right up the top, and what we're looking at is the hold percentage. We will talk a little bit about banners, but essentially banners track holds. 3v3 is more about holds than it is banners. It's not really about, it is about banners, but not really. This is going to come down to how many holds you get, and therefore we're going to run through these teams. And welcome in every other content creator who's currently writing this down for content for their future YouTube release. So we're gonna run through these, then we're gonna run through the ones for the 4 or 5 million. We're then gonna jump over to my account. We'll look at the ones, see if there's any different in the CVCs that I had. And then we are going to talk about the changes. We'll talk about the new characters have arrived, where they might sit, what they might change, and we'll talk about the omicrons and how those will change certain compositions, and we'll talk about certainly my strategies for that. So we've got about half an hour left of us just chatting about Star Wars. What a fucking world. All these sitting by a pool drinking beer, and we're chatting about Star Wars. What a fucking life we live. Welcome to the island. Welcome to Sunflies. Chin chin. Right. Top is GMK, Cat, General Kenobi. No surprise there. Yeah. You know that. That is a nasty, nasty team. It is going to change though. I think we'll see. Well, I think we'll see Mace. I think we'll see this variation more. And I think this will become, certainly Mace has got buffed since then. So I think we'll see this one move up. And you'll see Mace more than General Kenobi, but we'll talk a bit about that. But Rey, Hoda, still fucking awful team. Rey's just a nightmare. She's gonna hit a whirlwind. She's gonna wipe out a character. She can wipe out just about anything. Rey is one of the characters that gets a lot better in threes. Yeah, she's nasty. Rey is a nasty, nasty character. Probably my Rey will sit on defense. Probably in this Holdo comp. Well, no. Maybe not. I might give Rey. I don't know. She's got a tank. Who might Rey get? Let me have a think about that. I'll have a think. But I think Rey will get Holdo, but I don't like putting Hoda with her because Hoda is obviously very valuable for GMK, GKL teams in particular. So I don't like giving her Hoda. I don't want to give her Kitty Cat either, and I don't want to give her L3. So maybe here, maybe she'll get armor, possibly. But anyway, so Rey, incredible. No surprise, Maul. Fucking Maul. Maul with armor and Bo-Katan. Yeah, that works. That is going to be a nasty, nasty team. Maul will wreck idiots. I gotta remember though, last time that 3v3s came out, Maul was brand new. So a lot of people hadn't seen him for the first time. It's the first time we're seeing him. He's quite rare. Even in this, there's not too many battles. He's only seen 3,000 times, which is quite low compared to some of the others. So Maul is new. So there'll be more Maul comps seen this time. We might see a speedy droidica go in there. Armorer makes sense. I don't personally have armorer, so I don't, I've got her, but she's only at gear 7 or 8 because she's a nightmare to gear. So but yeah, armor's there. This team, yeah, fair enough. I mean, people put this team a lot. It's basically your GML defense team. I did actually look at the counters. I think SWGOH against it. I think SWGOH against it. I think it has too many counters now. But essentially, it's like a GL. It's another one of those GL trade-off teams. If you put this down, your opponent's probably gonna need a GL to get through it. You can get through it as a 2-tap though. If you kill Watt, so if you don't have the GL for it and you kill Watt, then you 2-tap it because Basti and GML aren't great together once the thing drops. Anyway, you've got, again, we talked a little bit about Potato. Again, we talked about this team. I think we'll see Mace here more, simply because I think GK might be somewhere else. Bad Batch, nobody uses them. We can skip them. SWGOH is a fucking nightmare in defense. SWGOH is another one of the characters who really goes up. And I do think we talked a lot about this actually in the last video, where just the cadence of launching, when SWGOH and Ray were being launched, they were just good characters, whereas now the GLs that come out now are almost dependent on a side piece. You know, GMK always has Cat with them, or largely has Cat, so they're also built more for a full composition of 5. So I think both SWGOH and Ray take a big bump in 3s because they have more standalone kits with poorer people around them when they were designed, put it that way. Yeah, Treya, hard if she marks the wrong person. If you can't get through Nihilus, yeah, you're getting deleted. Lord Vader with Maul, so again, good to see Maul in the Vader team. But again, this is more to reflect the fact how new Maul was and how new Vader was. We'll probably see Vader. Vader can still be cheesed with SWGOH. In fact, I think he might even be soloable with SWGOH now. You certainly can cheese him without Watt in the team. So SWGOH, Lord Vader will probably still see him in defense, but again, the counters still work. In fact, they're even cheaper now. You've got some classic Newt lead stuff. These are going to be great now that people have a lot of R7 Newts. So again, you're going to see more of these coming around. We'll talk a little bit. We'll maybe talk more of the comps in the next video. Well, then when we look at the lower ones, or the 4 to 5 million type defenses, because they're more generic. Basically, this one works because Django, under a Separatist lead, Django gets his payout immediately, I think. So his rocket basically goes off at the start. So the problem with Newt B1 Django, or Newt Django and L3, is that Django starts with a rocket, and that rocket at R7, where a lot of people have Django, can annihilate someone. So especially in 3s, if you get someone accidentally annihilated at the start, you are in trouble. And we'll talk a little bit, maybe we can get down to the Genosians. So you can end up with 4 people against you if you're up against GBA. If you get annihilated and there's only 2 of you left, it can be a right uphill struggle. These are good. Again, more Lord Vader with Vader and Gas, obviously. SWGOH with the cheese. Yeah, cheese just there, just to be annoying. That is on defense though, so people are putting the cheese on defense. It is annoying because you're gonna get stuck by a zombie tank. I wouldn't tend to do this. I think SWGOH for me is more of an offensive team, but certainly at the higher levels you're gonna have more GLs in defense. But I would keep SWGOH for offense initially. Good night, look, great team, but probably for me again more offensive. And there's the Toad, where I think I'd probably like to see the Toad more than up Array, but nice space for Toad. And then there's some nice couple of generic Maul teams here. Candy and Bam, one on TM, one on whatever Bam does, nobody's unclear. But yeah, again, a lot of that reflects how new Maul was when this season happened. I mean, this is back in October. So people were still unlocking, getting them, working out where you should go. But yeah, interesting comps there. Certainly Bo-Katan, sitting with Maul. I might run Maul, Bo-Katan, Ando, not sure. Some nice uses for Queel, IG with a Boba. That one's also another good one. The amount of healing coming out from Queel and IG are going to help Boba stay alive. And again, Boba's rocket works. A lot of 3v3 teams will kind of work on this instant damage dealer that will do a huge damage or delete a character. Then you will have one tank, and then you will have one support. That's kind of the compositions you tend to end up with. Here's a weird one. Obviously, these two are scoundrels. Not appealing. So, Bam and those two, they're going to score a hell of an awful lot of birds, I think. But generally, and Han is going to shoot first. So, Han and Chewie may end up killing somebody again before it starts. If they happen to stun or hit your wrong character, you can be in a world of hell. You're then going to end up against potentially damaged immunity, depending on what you take in. Yeah, nasty team. I actually quite like that team. I might make a note of that in the AldyChats. So yeah, we might see that one. I do like Han and Chewie on defense, simply because the randomness of Han. It can be annoying. So anyway, might steal that one. Newtness again, you're my cuteness again. You see Newt Django this time with Magna. Newt B1 with Dooku. Dooku is going to hide everyone. And yeah, so yeah. And then you see more Lord Vader with 2 tanks. Again, standard sort of Lord Vader stuff. And then you're going to see Bosk. Now, obviously, we will talk about Zami. Because Zami's Omicron has been new since this. So I think you will start to see Bosk. Maybe we'll talk about Omicrons in a second. But yeah, solid. You will start seeing Bosk lead, also very annoying because you're gonna have to burn through it. We'll do maybe another page of these, just see if there's anything that grabs our eye. Here's Shakademus and Pliers with the other 2 clones. You will see that a lot. And this is a lovely team. I do love this Newt with GBA. Geonosian Brook Alpha has the Zeta bring a friend to work. And he turns up with an extra friend. And they both work on the pit that day. So anything like this is a TM team where B1's getting constantly spammed. You're constantly healing the Geonosian Brood Alpha. Yeah, it's a nasty team. A lot of people, it doesn't look, I mean, I have to say, anytime you've got a Geonosian Brood Alpha on defense, it's a lot better than what you think, because you've got 4 people in there. The 4 of them hit hard. A lot of people have high relic Geonosian Brood Alphas, so yeah, be careful of Geonosian Brood Alpha. But I do like this one. I think this is one I run, and it is good. GTR with the Handbag Boys, that is also a very good team. So this is where you start to see sort of them. This is why Rey will probably get Holdo and one more, whereas GTR will get the Handbag Boys. That is a deceptively good team. The speed of Finn, handing it back, the amount of TM reduction, the healing immunity from GTR along with the hitting, it's a fucking nightmare. So I like this split. I like GTR with those 2. I like Rey with the Holdo maneuver earlier on, not these 2. Again, you see Django. This is also, I think, one I run. I do like the Newt with the Django, and then the Droidica to kind of tank a bit. So these are great ideas. None of these are like, I mean, you look at the amount of hold percentage is still 16%, and the banners are low, so you're getting a very good hold percentage out of these. The hold percentage in these teams is way higher than it is in 5s. If we looked up the top 5s, there's no way on page 2 would be at 16% holds. This one, CLS, Chupio, and Chew, that's a very good team, and it's one I run. The Rebels with the 2 Chewies. Again, you've effectively got 4 characters there. Not really, but one of them is in pieces. Great team, worth sticking down. Yeah, someone else can deal with it for you. A good defensive team. Again, you see Newt come, so look at the number of times you see Newt on defense here and his leadership. Number of times seen with Django is good. B1 is good. This team I'm not as fan of too much, but again, you got good tank in Magnus, so. Again, quite far down, so when you start seeing the Night Sisters, so you're gonna have to split those up. Rey, Han, and Chewie, another very good favorite team. Again, Rey's a nightmare, and you've got the random stun, you've got the assist. They can delete somebody out the box. Maybe I like the earlier version, and give Rey the holdo, because you're not going to beat that without a GL, I guess. And then Han and Chewie sitting with Bam. Was it Bam they sat with? I don't know. Somebody go back in the presentation. This one, I also run this. Zaris, keeping people alive. And you've got Rexley. That is 5s, isn't it? Yeah, I knew it was 5s. Look, I'm getting better at telling the fucking helmets apart. Yeah, so Zaris keeping 5 lives. You have to kill Vibes the entire time. Rex is giving tenacity up. Rex is about to hit Annihilate. And again, you delete somebody. And then suddenly, it's a nightmare. Darth Revan, incredibly good in 3s. Again, I think we'll see Bosk. I think we might see this team with Zami. I certainly think for the Omicrons, I think we'll see... we might see Bosk, Zami, and 1. The only thing I would say is that we gotta be careful because Django is good with Newt, but I'm starting to see a lot more Djangos on offense. Django the lead for Bosk and Zami. I think that would be an absolute nightmare. So I think I might go... Well, we'll debate this. Look at me, I'm debating with myself. What does chat think? What do you think? Tell me what you think. I think I'm gonna go Django, Bosk, Zami, and just have a lightning fast Bosk, and then they're stuck. I like that as a team. I like that as a comp. It only has a few. They can outspeed it then with troopers, or they struggle to outspeed it with troopers, should I say? And they'll struggle to outspeed it with Darth Vader as well. So yeah, I think that's kind of. We're talking a lot. Look, what we're doing here is we're flashing up a million different compositions. These are not my compositions. These are the best compositions in the world. So, there's room for us to then debate inside of these, which I guess is kind of what we're doing. Yeah, you start to see kind of repetitive. This one I like. I do like this as well. I'd need to find a place to put my holdo maneuver. But I do like this with these two because of the sheer survivability. They're going to keep Rey alive. Anyway, so those are kind of like the top team. Those are kind of the people at up here in the sky. The other thing that's always worth doing is putting this on like a 1%. So this is now, what you see now at the very top is there's a lot more teams in here. So you start to see what the aspirational 4 or 5 million GP teams are for defense. You'll see a lot of copy over, but these will be the slightly more accessible characters. You don't really see GLs in here very often. So this is a nice way, depending on where your GP is, just to move this box around, and have a look at what the defensive teams that your sort of cutoff are. 2% will make it even more. There's not a lot seen at 2%. But yeah, 1% will work. Anyway, just a nice way to look at it, nice way to think about it. Obviously, the holds, these teams are maybe not as good overall. They don't have GLs in them, but they do give you kind of an aspirational space for what you might want to look at if you're looking at how you farm between now and 3s or how you mod. And you see this classic Django rocket off the bat, B1 doing damage, and a gorgeous team. Very nice. And you see the CLS with it too. So those are very good. Darth Revan with Malik, also a nightmare in 3s. Again, I think we'll see this one alter, and you'll see Zami come in. Will make this even better. KRU is also KRU with the tomato, and Hux with the tomato. These are awful teams. And again, Finn. So you're starting to see kind of maybe some of the generic teams that have just a really good mechanic about them. Pretty cool. Mon Mothra and the Delete Brothers. Again, all these teams are kind of based on an ability to delete someone off the bat. KRU. You're starting to see Dodgy Maul here. Dodgy Maul with the purple wizard and the instant delete button. Nice team. That is nice. I do like the purple wizard in there. I think that's where my purple wizard might go. That team with the instant delete button is genius. And then you've got Grievous and his boys. That's kind of what the world says for defense. I don't know how that was. I don't know. Okay, so please shout at me in chat if you'd rather have done it differently or if you do it differently. But that's kind of that's the teams that the game has. What we'll do now, we've got about 10 minutes. How do I'll flick through the teams that I've used. This is my threes. So again, Luke with the Chupios, Newt B1 GBA. So I'm not running with Django. I'm running with GBA. That I might stick with that, and therefore I can go Django lead with Bosk, and then Zami. Hux, God love them. This would be one that I would edit then. So probably lose Dengar and stick in Zami with the Omi. Here's JTR. Decent. The stunning droid is going to cause some problems. Here's Bam with these boys. Look, all I'm doing is throwing out, these are just ideas. These are all pretty decent teams. Finn with the vets is pretty good. It's pretty good in 5s actually, but it's pretty good in 3s as well. Why did these have a 2? Must have a Zeta, I don't have. Dooku, Droidica, Magna, Mon Mothra, and the Instant Delete Brothers. Mon Mothra is nowhere near as good as he was. We're going to talk a little bit maybe about Kyle Katarn in a second when we start talking about omicrons. Phasma, I mean, this is a terrible team. Literally a light wind blows this over. Grievous, we might move. L3 will also move. I think L3 will start to join a dash team. So we'll talk about omicrons in a second. These are just ones we have. Here's Dodgy Maul with Django. I think this one might change. This is a Dots team, I think. No, not Dots team. What is this team? This is a TM team. Oh, this is New Maul. Sorry, it's not. I thought it was Dodgy Maul. This is New Maul. So I think what we'll do is we'll take Django off this and we'll put in Bo-Katan. And we'll have a look maybe at another in here. These are the old ones I've saved from last time. So those are I think that'll have been the defense, maybe. I think it looks like the defense. The 3s, so what we did at the end of the last group of 3s is we did the entire light side defense and then we did entire dark side defense. There's more options in here. I'll just kind of we'll just kind of work through them, or scroll through them, and then we'll talk about omicrons. So these are probably the more modern version of the previous tab. Bit more refinement in there. Some similar teams, but some a little bit different. But these are the ones that went on the light side defense. The dark side defense. So this is without putting mixed teams down. So this does quite limit it. Where this lot. So yeah, that's some ideas. But let's talk omicrons. Let's talk about how the game might have progressed. So we have new characters. So Starkiller, Mara, Kyle Katarn, Dash, Darth Talon, all kind of new. Inquisitors. So, what would we see? So, where should we start? We start with Starkiller. So obviously you have fixed Starkiller. Sort of. Starkiller is massively nerfed versus 3 from 5s. The problem with Starkiller is he has a very, very specific requirement for his composition, And that is a factor. We talked about this last week. It's a factor of where the game is today versus where the game has been before. The kits are now coming out with just these comedy closetive kits. So the problem is now they've sort of got the closetive kit, but they've sort of said, well, look, you only need 2 parts of the jigsaw. The problem is with 2 parts of a jigsaw, you're kind of missing 2 parts. It's not like he's getting the benefits. So Starkiller needs a tank with him, unfortunately. So I think Starkiller under a GK lead. Maybe give him Visas. I guess you could give him Mara. But I think we'll see. We need to give him that tankiness. We've got to give him that survivability. So I think General Kenobi could work with him. And then either Visas or Mara. Either give him the revive and the panic. The only problem you have is that, yes, you've got GK doing a little bit of taunting eventually, but you don't have that taunt over here, and then you've got a revive over here, then you've got... So, in the standard 5v5s, you've got EP who's adding TM gain, and then you have other people that are all doing stuff. In the 3s lead, Starkiller is a lot more exposed. Keeping him alive is going to be the hardest thing. He could move more to offense than defense, and you might see him more in offense. I don't think you're ever going to get to a 100 stack or these thing to pull the actual damn thing out of the sky. It's going to be a bit of a... It's going to be a... It could be a very interesting competition to see if any of you manages it. But it is going to be something that is going to... The team's going to be very fragile, and it's going to be exposed way more. So I think Starkiller's UK is going to be important. He might move... He's a very good character, so his damage is big, and he has a lot of incredible stuff. I just don't think he's going to get to his ultimate, personally. And I think you're going to need to give him a tank. So I think I would give him a... I think if I give him a GK lead, and give him... Probably he'll get Visas as a counterpart. No, hang on. Jedi, oh no, this is terrible. Jedi and clone allies. My god, no, no, no. We will not be using General Kenobi. He's not a Jedi, is he? He might be a Jedi, hang on. Are you a Jedi, sir? You are not a Jedi. You are a dark side Ufu. Okay, he's shit then. He's not getting GK's lead. What I'll do is I'll try and find him a leader who give him a little bit more tankiness. I don't think I want to give him EP in 3s because I don't think he's going to get TM gain. I'd like to give him Mara, but I also like EP, Mara, Darth Vader. So Starkiller is going to be a bit of a movable piece. I do think there is much conflict in me regarding Starkiller. I think it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. He is not a leader, so you kind of need 2 other people with him, obviously. What does Mace's leadership do? Does Mace even have... Is Mace a thing? The comps will still work because you're still counting the individual people, but you kind of want to give him a leadership that's going to work. Nice, Jedi. Anyway, I'll have worked out my Starkiller comp in the next week or 2. But I may well be... Starkiller will move around, I think. Kyle Katarn. We'll probably have one Mon Mothra team and one Kyle Katarn team. You might even see Kyle Katarn join other Jedi. And be kind of useful in them. I don't know where I would put Kyle Katarn. The Mon Mothma team is a bit rubbish now. It's okay, but I think you always have a Wampa in the wild, and that Wampa is going to eat things for lunch. So I think Kyle Katarn, super fast character, super useful, which is useful in threes. Kyle Katarn might end up in offense. Maybe. Qui-Gon Jinness now has his Omi, so we'll start seeing him a lot on defense again. Qui-Gon Jinn, Jedi Anakin, and I don't know. I guess, see, the problem with Qui-Gon Jinn is that a lot of people have counters now for Qui-Gon Jinn. You either use a GL or you stun Jedi Anakin. If there's only 3 characters, it's a lot easier to stun. So you're going to have a pre-taunting tank in there or something to stop them doing it. I certainly think Qui-Gon Jinn's going to go down quite a bit in the ranking. He's certainly gone down a lot since he was brought into the game. He was amazing. Possibly he might go on as a bit of a nuke team, where Qui-Gon Jinn just kind of, you actually use him in offense and he nukes the other team by just proccing the Jedi Anakin thing. Anyway, we're talking about, let's talk about the love of my life. She lives in the deep south. She hangs about bars on Friday evenings and she drinks beer. Aiden. I think Aiden, similarly, I think Aiden might end up with 2 tanks. I don't know, you kind of need Death Trooper in there, so it might be Death and Storm, or Death and Shore. Probably Death and... I think if I'm in offense, I'm against the AI, I might go Death and Storm, and then if they hit Aiden, they're just wasting their time. But Aiden's Omicron, again, a lot worse in threes. You know, they're going to burn through the other 2 people pretty fast. And therefore Aiden's going to be a little bit exposed. We all love an exposed Aiden though, so there's no great problems there. Anyway, where else go? What would I work on? Here's what I'm talking about. Omicrons. Qui-Gon Jinn, we talked about Aiden, Qui-Gon Jinn, we talked about Starkiller. I'm not a fan. I don't think the Tusken Omicron is worth putting on, so I'd ignore that completely. Farming? So maybe before we finish, we just talk about farming and stuff, and is there anything I would do for threes? It's kind of boring to say, but you are going to have certain GLs are going to be very important. SWGOH is likely to be trying to get through a Vader or get through a comp on his own. So another relic level in SWGOH, very useful. Similar for C. Moving C up and getting his health up higher and higher and higher. Always very useful. I think the Wampa Beast, we're going to see Wampa being able to one-shot things that didn't normally be able to be one-shotted. He's going to be close to gas, I think, this time. So a little bit of work on Wampa, maybe, if you are looking at it. Other than that, Wampa is going to destroy many of the teams he does at 5s, but he'll destroy them much, much easier. So I don't think there's too much to do. The only kind of maybe 3v3 hidden, and we talked again a lot about this last week, the Inquisitors. They're not going to be far off a team of 3, and I think I will have a team of 3 Inquisitors by the start of 3s. I'm currently gearing up, she's G11, I'm currently gearing up this one, and then I think I might gear up the 5th brother, as much for Conquest as anything else, but start putting the gear into him, and it's possible that I actually have at least 2 of them at 6-star, 2 of them at G11, and then 1 other by the time 3 starts. The patience mechanic's going to make them annoying, and nobody's really going to know how to counter them. There's not going to be a place to look it up, so I guess as long as you don't use a Jedi squad, you should be okay. Anyway, that's my thoughts on 3s. What else have I... Anything else? I know we've looked at lots of different teams on defense. We talked about Omicron, we talked about Wate. I still need to do some work on Starkiller. I apologize. I didn't sit down while we work it all out, while I didn't do all that before this presentation. So we're just sort of open wrapping. So I want to hear from you guys. Interesting to see what you've got. I think threes is anything they bring into the game that's different and new. I think I'm excited by. I'm honestly excited by. I like threes. I like the change, and I like being able to kind of play with different stuff. Tanks are very important. Insta kills are very important. So if you do have, you'll be surprised just how able maybe a Mandalorian could get a contract, trigger a contract, and then insta delete somebody. Same with Nihilus. These characters can be very important, so consider a little bit of work on them. Insta kills can get you out of a huge mess. As will Aiden's Omi. I guess she'll still be an offense. She's going to probably be able to, well, she will go first. She might be able to clear up one character in a team, and that will be able to get you that full clear. So that's it. That was the presentation for today. I don't know how anybody's got any thoughts. Like I say, I am on holiday. I apologize to everybody. So I might hopefully be writing in chat right now and telling everybody how much I love you, because I love you. And I thank you so much for the support to the little channel. I thank you for all the support you provide the Star Wars people, the non-Star Wars people, and I give you all the love in the world. And thank you for coming to this presentation. And I hope it's been fine. I hope you watched it. I hope you chatted. I hope you chatted to each other. I hope you disagree with me. I hope you shouted. Thank you. And we will... I don't know if I can raid you. I've yet to work out whether I'm going to be able to raid you on this. How to come back to this is the point where the internet goes, no, it dies, it burns, it freezes, it tightens. Oh no, the internet is fine. The internet has not lost its will to live. Hi, I'm over here. Hi everyone. We're winding up the presentation for today. Thank you if you sat through this. Thank you for hearing my just open thoughts about where things might be. I'll be looking forward to threes. I will be I think I'll miss the first 2 rounds, and then I'll be with you for the 3rd round of threes. So I will be watching with great interest your progress. I wish everybody the best of luck on the island. And yeah, I will raid you off somewhere. Where do you want to go? I'm not able to do this. I'm just pretending. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute fucking idiot. Much love, everyone. No matter which content creators you watch, no matter which ones you love or hate, we do this for your entertainment. We do this because we love you, and we hope you enjoy it all. And thank you so much for coming to watch what was essentially a pre-recorded monologue from an idiot. That's the best way to call this, isn't it? I hope to have had another recorded monologue by an idiot. I hope you're enjoying this recorded monologue by an idiot series. If you're not, feel free to shout and chat now. If you are, shout and chat now. Thank you for being here. I do love you all. I say it too many times, but welcome to Sandflies. Much love. I'll see you soon. Ciao. I hit the wrong button.
Too late. mistakes, I know I lied.